also feel like, and the men in the comment section gonna tell me if I'm wrong, I believe if you're making $50,000, $60,000 right now, I believe you still have a desire. Even if your family is happy with you, your wife is happy with you, there's a desire in you to make enough to where she may not have to go to work one day. To make enough to where your kids ain't got to worry about whether they can pay for college or not.
But you're valid before you even get there.
But I'm saying there's a desire for that to happen.
The desire is there.
The desire is there. And here's the thing. The desire is there. A lot of times, a lot of men, they're more concerned about making that finances and that security because they want to give it to somebody. They want to provide it to somebody.
Yes.
So it's that innate thing that we have.
Yes.
So that's why I'm saying on the flip side, I can understand why a woman would be attracted to a man's desire to do that.
But also there's a component of this that we are missing, and that is that men that are not happy with where they are financially are fucking mean. They treat you terribly, okay? And I feel like there's a space for that, and this is why I'm saying that it's not that you're not valuable to me, but there's a room and a lane for everybody that I feel like makes it safe and equitable for all the parties involved. If you meet somebody and they're a 300K woman, that may not be quite the lane for you. It doesn't mean that I value you less. It doesn't mean, but you're going to perform better. You're going to be a better person. You're going to have a better mindset. You're going to be in a clearer space when you feel valued, safe, at peace with where you are. And it's no harm, no foul in that. Stay there in that lane with the women that are in alignment with you, and leave the women, and don't be mad at us calling us broke, gold diggers, dirty, bald head scallywags on the internet because we are in this lane. And again, it doesn't make me feel like I don't value you the same, but I have also experienced men that are uphill coming up a financial battle, and the good thing is that it will be wonderful to meet a man and he's like, babe, let's do this together, let's build, I got this, you got that, you got my back, I got your back. But the reality of it is because I went to fucking school, I was valedictorian, I graduated, I got a master's degree, I did all this shit. Now you mad at me because you not in my lane. Get in your lane, make some more money, and then come over here. Now we all good. It's simple.
But it's
simple.
I'm gonna push back just a little bit.
I love how you push back.
I love you, sis. The way that you just spoke was like there was no issue with the men who made a certain amount of money. That's less than what you desire. In your last tonight's conversation episode, you said that man would have never even met me, which you ate when you said it. I fucked with how you said it. But it wouldn't even looked my way. They wouldn't even been in the same room as me. The way that you said it, it lacked compassion. And so how you said it now gave validity and value to them, and acknowledging that where they are is valuable where they are. Don't work for me, but there's still value in them. But when you say that man would have never even met me, when women hear that and when men hear that, there's no compassion in that. So it instantly devalues them, it devalues their purpose, and it devalues how they have the ability to show up.
Candace, I completely hear you. I completely hear you on that. But I stand 10 toes on what I said, and also my delivery, on my delivery as well. And I hear you, and I'm glad that this is a space where you can acknowledge, like, oh, that may not have been, it lacked empathy, it lacked understanding. But I truly, truly mean that. And this has come from somebody who built a tech startup, who has moved through spaces, who has been 22 in a C-suite, dealing with white men and all type of misogyny, sexism, and double standards, right? And the truth of the matter is that there are spaces that I am in, and there are men that live a lifestyle, whether you want to drink on the weekend, whether you got Don Julio pouring up, whether you're not getting up and going to the gym, there are men that live a lifestyle that I don't meet them. That's what I'm trying to say, is that we are not in alignment. It's not that you a bum, that you a terrible person or nothing like that, but there are lanes that I have lived that my lifestyle reflects a crop and an abundance that men that are not cropping or not sharing, they're not there. Right. And that's just, and I stand on that.
I think exactly what you're saying is valid, and you should stand on it because that's what you deserve and that's your standard. My point is, when it's communicated, that man will never see me. When we have the conversation, but it also X's out But also, if this is where you are, you still hold value. You just cannot serve purpose. In my world, that's where the conversation becomes lopsided. And when women are listening to these conversations, because they do look up to us and they do look up to what we're saying, a lot of people, Candace Love, I can't believe I just met you. They holding on to every word that I say. So there's a responsibility to how I say things and what I say. And I can stand on what I say, as you should as well. But also is it necessary for it to also lack so much compassion with the other people who are viable options to the average woman and the average man? They still hold space in the world too.
Well, I see a lot of issues with that, man.
So so I was I think you called me first. I'm gonna get around.
My bad.
So the last lady that was speaking, Candace Love, I think that's her name, right? I think she's listening to understand and provide a bridge to get that person to the next point. So the way she was engaged in that conversation was like what emotional maturity should look like. Because she was explaining that although you may not have value for these people, to dismantle that they have value is wrong. And the responsibility of coming up on a panel, to come up on a show, and thousands of people hear your voice and not take heed that you might say something that will X out somebody that's not in your situation and view all the other men, because people assimilate or gravitate to the people they look up to. So if she's saying, I can't mess with a man that don't make 300K, you need to stay in your lane, nigga, and all this other shit, what's to stop the girl that's emulating her from doing the same thing and then yelling, this is what I deserve? I think that was excellent point she was making. The woman before her speaking, I'm not sure what her name is, but thank you. Like, again, you just need to say thank you. She's right. And she's so right, she just needs to be loud and right. Because when I used to go outside and go to Soho and then a little networking events and all that stuff, it is a group of men that's in them events. And then when I be in the hood, it's another group of men that don't be in those events. And those two worlds rarely meet, right? So she is right. She won't see those men. Hold on, baby. I told you to go lay down. Go lay down with mommy. Go lay down with mommy. What did I say? Go.
And what was the homegirl name? You said what, Love? What?
Candace Love was the first one.
Oh, her name was with the short hair?
The Candace Love was the one I was talking, the first person I was talking about. The second one, I don't know her name. The other lady.
Okay, so Candace Love is the one with the short hair.
Yeah, who was saying you need
Shirt.
empathy.
Okay, yeah, now so I got you.
Yeah, so let me just finish the last point on old girl. Those lanes don't meet, they don't intersect, right? I'm clear that those lanes don't meet, and I got homies that never. How you know him? How you know him? You know, she right. But the trick bag is in that other room, it's 35, 40, 50 to 1. And you damn sure not gonna get nobody with that type of attitude. Like when it's so thin, like everybody beautiful in a certain room. Everybody is doing okay in their life in a certain room. It's small things that will change. It might just be this girl laugh a little bit more than you like to X yourself out by being abrasive. I think you're doing yourself a disservice no matter how much money you make. It's just not going to end well for you. And the man that you potentially could get will be somebody who does not filter through all the things to find a quality woman, and you're going to be complaining about him in 3 years.
Yeah, so that lady, man, you said Candace Love. I think she has a good idea as to what's going on. She did her fair share of cooking tonight. Now homegirl that was on the left with the black short skirt, she there's a lot of things wrong with what happened there. You could kind of smell the vitriol and disdain she has for men. You heard it coming out in the voice, and we're not going to really just concentrate on her per se, but this is just a feeling that a lot of women have, that disdain, that vitriol. She's angry with multiple types of men. She's angry with the men who have rejected her, right? She's the ones who she was saying that are effing mean. That just stung. The way she said that, you're like, damn, okay, you could feel that pain. Like, that's the people who rejected her. She's also angry with the men who feel like they deserve her, that she doesn't feel deserve them. She's angry. She'll get mad at a dude who will press her if he ain't got everything together that she thinks he should have together. She's just as mad at this dude because you in the way of me getting my champion. So that's how she feels about it. So from what I understand, her, like most women today, don't understand what it is that men are actually looking for and what the sexual marketplace actually looks like and what things really mean, right? She has no idea that she is going to absolutely repel most men that she's looking for, that she feels like she qualifies for. When you hear the things that she's mentioned about her education and she did all of these things, she doesn't understand that that's not the act of you obtaining these things, the act of you being educated, having a business. Men don't hate that. Men hate the fact that when most women do that, they talk like her, they act like her, and they're as entitled like her. That's what men hate about successful women. It's not that we hate your success. What we hate is when you behave like that. And once women get theirs, this is what we usually see, and it's unfortunate. And that's why she's probably gonna have a goose egg when it's all said and done. I'll let somebody else go.
I think a big point to look at in that conversation is that one of those women had a ring on their finger. The other one don't.
Which one has a ring on her finger?
Let's take a
One with her
guess.
husband.
Let's all take a guess.
I'm
One of
gonna
them
say
was with her
Candace
husband.
Love.
I'm assuming, I don't know if the camera is flipped or whatever, but it looked like Shorty had a rock on her left hand. So just from the conversation, just off of how they're interacting, just in the vast difference of the tone. You got one chick that's and the other one, she's still speaking softly like a woman. What
She was
man
trying to
knows?
speak life into her. While she was trying to tell her she wrong, she was speaking life into her while doing that.
Talking to her like she was a baby. So I mean, this should be the part, and I agree with him. We do need these type of conversations for men to see the difference of this is how a woman should act, and this is how them heathens act. So choose accordingly. There's a reason why this 300K making woman can't find a man. And this other young lady that's saying that you can absolutely have a good life off of 50K, she got one. So fellas, don't waste your time with chicks like that. It's a waste of time, energy, and space.
And if you do find yourself a one and you complaining about her and all of that, it is your fault. You not leave her alone. Leave her alone. If you leave them type of women alone, you won't have nothing to be mad about when it comes to this stuff. That's oh my God. Just leave her alone. Let her be great. Let her be great by herself. Just let her be great.
I find myself, because I'm very introspective, so I find myself thinking like about this situation, and of course we all get to a point where it's like, oh, she don't deserve what she says she's looking for, and this, that, and the third, because my personal, because I don't want no one, I don't care if a woman is making this type of money, and I don't care if a woman is, you got all these accomplishments, I don't give a fuck about none of that, right? I find myself saying that, and then like you find yourself almost hoping that like, yo, telling the other guys like, yo, don't even waste your time with girls like that. And I don't know who the niggas is that she know. Like, I don't know who these tech guys is she meeting, and all that type of stuff. I just know that like when I hear all of that nonsense, it make me think that she prides herself on all her accomplishments like a man, and I don't want no parts of that. I don't care how much money you make. I feel like after a certain amount of money, like a woman, like like you work a job and they got a cap on how much commission you can make. So after you make 60,000 in commission, all of that over that amount don't even count no more. It's like that for women to me. Like after you make 60,000 or whatever, everything after that you just working for nothing. I mean, of course you get to buy the stuff that you want, but yeah, I don't know who the type of guys is that she's attracting or that she's around to make her think that like once a guy should be working to make 300,000 just to get on her level, then date her. Like, why would I be dating you if I made $300,000? Why wouldn't I date a nice badge on that is worried about that wants to submit to me and admire me and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. But hey man, if she getting results, then if she know what she doing, that's her business.
Go ahead, Jim.
I was gonna ask, are average men pursuing women like her?
Why not? She just looked like a woman. Like you walk up to her like, "Oh, what's up? Like, you know, how you doing today?" And I guess she'd be like, "Hey, I make 300,000. What do you?"
Okay, okay. I got you. Because I was wondering. I've been married for 10 years.
About the girl in the black? You talking about?
Yeah. Shorty with the skirt on.
Oh, a skirt on.
And a skirt or whatever.
Yeah, it's a mini
I've
skirt.
been married. It's a skirt.
Yeah, it's like a black leather mini skirt. Look like.
Yeah. I've been married for 10 years. Me and my wife been together for 20, so I don't know. Are the average men pursuing average women?
In my opinion, men are pursuing. I've seen a lot of men just pursuing whatever. Like men they just love women.
We just in the pursuit.
Average men have no reason not to approach her. She doesn't look like her success, so she's not extraordinary physically. And to average dudes, shooters shoot. So, and then if she is meeting average guys and hitting them with that, like, I make 300,000 a year energy. When she goes to talk to the men she actually wants, she may still be hitting them with that same energy about, I do my own, but to the type of man she wants, 300,000, what we pay in taxes in a quarter. Like that's not a flex. So if you just look at her outcome and her current reality and her situation, it tells you that honestly, everything that these women are saying is just purely speculation and conjecture. It's not their lived experience. It's nothing they've done successfully. And I think that we should stop listening to unwed women in any type of relationship space. They should talk about dating, fucking niggas and being played by niggas, all the things that they actually do well or experience. But when it comes time to being in healthy relationships, they need to shut up.
Does the average woman have the same perspective that she has?
I would say, yeah, because the average woman doesn't realize she's average. If you tell a woman she's average, you might as well call her a bitch because it's offensive to them. Like the only people who don't think about who know we're average are men, because the world puts us in a hierarchy and shows us where we fall and that we're average. Women get lauded for, big is beautiful, sexual liberation, all these other things. So they all think that they tend to all think that they're better than they are. So yeah, I think it's unfortunate that there's only three things that'll humble women. It's life, gravity, and taxes. Those are the only three things that end up that can ever humble a woman and make her be a little more honest about where she is. But if you just even like off the internet, look at women outside, like you can tell the ones who think they are bigger, than they are. I've seen some of the most attractive women that I've seen since I've been up here, physically, whatever, inside of BJ's or Costco, and then get up to the front and be paying with an EBT card, but then go outside and, got a 2023 series BMW. Like you can tell what they're doing. And these women, when they actually go out here and look for men, that same woman with that old ass BMW is looking for a nigga in a G63 or, a Bentley or something expensive because she wants the man that can give her the type of lifestyle that she's out here fucking for.
Damn, did you just say a 2023?
23 is old as hell. He did.
Damn, that's
only 2 years old. She makes
what I meant to say was a 2023 series. My bad.
I was about to. I'm like, damn,
my bad, bro.
bro.
I'm sorry.
You made me second guess my life just now.
Man, I was finna mute up. Shit.
My fault. I meant a 2023 series.
To show,
I would buy a 2023 car.
I was gonna say to your point, I think that most women had a mindset, and it's ridiculous, but I think women just dream a little bit different than men, and their confidence is typically different when it comes to money. So they all think they're gonna be rich or something. I don't know, but if you ask a regular woman, you tell a regular woman like, you can be a millionaire. You can be like, yeah, I don't date women that make as much money as me. They're gonna look at you like you just insulted them. Like, bitch, you don't have no money. How does that even matter to you? Like, I don't want a woman that make $1 million. Like chicks that make $20,000 to get upset at you, call you insecure.
So does that make it? If most of them see the world in that way or in that way to a degree, does that make it easier or more difficult to find the average woman for the average guy who's actually a wife material? You understand? Do you understand? You understand what I'm saying?
I said again.
If we're going off the idea that most women have the perspective that Shorty in the skirt had,
okay,
right? But the average man is out here. Let's assume that he's looking for a wife, right? Considering that most of them are like her, and that's not what we want. Shouldn't that make it easier to find the one that isn't like that? Or are they all just in the house and they just introverts and quiet, and that's why we don't see them?
I don't know if average men are happy with the women that they can get. I'm trying to think, why would they even be complaining?
I would say that the best women are in relationships or married. Assets don't stay, unassigned for long. And with the way that the men that these women want operate, we're definitely not the types that miss out on opportunities, because we understand, there's opportunity cost. So I would say that the majority of women that are worth being married or worth being in relationships are in them.
I'm gonna play some of that clip, because on the front end of that clip, they was talking about that, as far as it was a debate about the women that men are chasing, beautiful women. I understand what you're saying. It's like, well, it should be easy to find them, but the debate was that the men don't really want them.
That's why I asked, does the average man want the average woman?
Or like a better question is, like, the average men that are with, the average men that are with the women that they with now, did they settle?
Well, I mean, can I answer his question, JR, before you play the clip?
Yeah, that's a good one.
So I think it makes it easier to let these fellas know what they want, what they shouldn't be getting, are going after, or what they really don't want. Now, is it making it easier for men to find harder? Yeah, it's going to be harder. It's going to be a lot harder, because you have a lot of women who has that same chick's mindset. And it's just, unfortunately, you got to make sure you paying attention, watching out, looking at, asking certain questions. Make sure you ask the tough, hard questions and deal with the answers they give you. Don't turn that red flag into a yellow flag just because she's cute. Or she got a big old ass and some big titties. Or she got some good head. Nah, don't do that, because you'll suffer in the long run. If that's the way she is and moves, you move as such and move off of it and keep it moving until you find that woman that you're really looking for, that's really on the same standards as you are looking for, that's really rocking with what you rocking with, that's going to accept you and your $50,000 to $60,000 a year job. You know what I'm saying? You never know what at 50 to 60. That man might be a teacher, and that's his passion, to help kids, to teach kids, to educate kids, and to give back to the community in some form or fashion. And maybe he's only paying $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, but that's that man's passion. Now, if she's not willing to accept that and move with that and deal with that, cool. Let her go. Keep it moving. Because please believe me, there will be a good woman who has that, probably more than likely have that same passion for the kids and is willing to accept you for whatever you make a year and ready to build with you. Matter of fact, even to the point of maybe even open a center for the kids.
Do we feel like do we feel like currently a lot of the talk on the internet is literally just us arguing about our nature? Because I've been hearing a lot about men and like polygamy, and if you going to be with a certain type of guy, be used to him having, he's going to have a certain type of woman. You're going to have to fit this role, and he's going to want more than one woman. I've been hearing that a lot over the past few years. And with women, it's like we're talking about how they're hypergamous, which we've all been knew that. That's nature. Are these things starting to come out of women being hypergamous, men wanting more than one woman, and are we just starting to have this conversation?
Yeah, I think society kind of scripted the way monogamy was the last 100 years. And I think the breakdown in late stage capitalism has caused it to get to a breaking point where especially when the human highlight reel of every person that you don't know on Instagram is visible, you see nothing but the most beautiful, thickest women. You see nothing but men getting out of jets and Rollies. And because you can see it, it seems like it's close enough to touch. So the nature of men is to continue to attract and to pursue these women until they reach a point in life where they don't. For most men, especially high earning, high achieving men, for most men. And the women that are chasing after those men tend to know it, and they're fine with that. They tend to know that that's what's going on. Like that's where you get phrases like "I'd rather cry in a Bentley than in a Honda," or whatever they say. That's where you get those phrases from. I think I've been saying that I think polygyny is it's gonna make a huge comeback, because it was at one point how it was. I think it's gonna make a huge comeback. But in the meantime, while people sift through the rubble of what the data market is and late stage capitalism for the haves and the have-nots, there's gonna be a lot of upset people, men and women. Because even if the man believes in polygyny, it's not technically legal for him to practice it. So it's super difficult. And if the woman would go along with those things, she still has to find a man that's willing to go through that. So you'll have people who want the woman they can't get, and a woman that want the man they can't get, both looking above them, upset.
Okay. Can we all acknowledge that it's not money's just one way to get women? Like that's just one way thing to attract women. You don't need no type of money if you're handsome. You don't need no type of money if you tall. You don't need no type of money if you packing, right? These are just certain things. Like we kind of fixated on the money, but these are all the things that women jump for. All of these things.
I think the main thing that you want is just real quick. I think the main thing that a woman wants is for a man that makes her feel special. Right now, some guys can do that through money. Some guys can do that because they packing. Some guys can do that because they're articulate, right, or whatever the case may be. But if you can make a woman feel special, pretty much you in it.
I don't agree with that one.
You don't think so?
I think that if a woman is attracted to you, that's you in it, no matter what that is. I don't think you have to make her feel special. I don't think you even have to like her back. If she's attracted to you, you're gonna get what you want out of her.
No, I don't think in my opinion, it's not that simple.
Short term or long term? You talking about short term or long term?
It can be both, honestly.
Yeah. I was gonna say it could be both, right? But I mean, it's plenty of dudes that don't have a lot of money that you come across who can get women, and it's because they're good at communicating with women, reading their minds. You know, all women want us to read their minds, or whatever the case may be, and he has the ability to make them feel special and seen.
That's a way to do it. But I think the other no, go ahead, Trev.
I was gonna say, because you gotta understand, there's a lot of females who are talk too crazy, abused, and everything else, and still can't let bro go. Right? Dudes who straight up deadbeats, don't do anything right, but it's just that one thing about him that she is attracted to, that makes her feel like shit, and she's still on homeboy. So yeah, I think it's a lot more based on attraction. Not to say that that's a healthy situation, right? Some of those things might be built on trauma or whatever, but it still falls under whatever she's attracted to.
I think what you're talking about, though, that I would say that falls under familiarity, right? Like human beings don't like change. will naturally stay in a worse situation because it's familiar, as opposed to it being her attracted to him. I think it's just she may be attracted to him because he's familiar, but I just don't believe that she like getting her face bashed in, and I'm like, oh, like she's like, oh, okay.
So let
like
me ask you this: in your experience, did you talk to you? Have you ever had a woman that was attracted to you who you might have talked crazy to, or just really didn't give a fuck and just did whatever and said whatever?
Me talk crazy to her,
or not like disrespectful or whatever, but just you just seriously nonchalant. You don't pour into her. You give her nothing. You ignore her. You she's in queue somewhere amongst the other females and she's still on it.
Nah, not really. I've been in relationships. I'm a relationship.
Okay.
I've been in
definitely done that
guy my whole life,
a
basically.
lot.
It,
I'm telling you, I'm White's gonna
hold
agree.
on. I missed it. I missed it. I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
No, I was saying I've done that a lot, right?
Okay.
And White has explained that he's done that a lot, where he would pour very little into him and invested nothing. I think Real Dope probably has experience like that. I think mostly every brother on this panel has had similar experiences like that, where you pour nothing into them. You could talk to them, however, nonchalant, don't care, ignore them, slow text, anything that would be considered things that women don't like, and he's still all over you just because of that attraction. And you
Pour
can't shake him
nothing,
off with a
or
stick.
pour nothing, or pour just enough, or pour a little bit, stop pouring, pour a little bit more when she seemed like she about to go, stop pouring, sprinkle a little bit more. Like these are all things that just
That's breadcrumbing.
Yeah, because he said that earlier. Like, if you just make them feel good, that'll get you in the door. That can get you in the door. However, that doesn't have to, like, it's other men are born being able to get in the door because he tall, because he packing, because he's handsome to her. He in the door and he can do whatever he want from there. It's like, it's all up to him.
Do you think that's a sign of, and I'm also talking to what Trev was saying, do you think that's more a sign of a lack of self-confidence in her?
I
Like,
think
where does her confidence come into play outside of just the attraction? To be I want a man who doesn't necessarily want me.
I think in terms of long term, her confidence and her self-esteem can come into play. But I think just the initial attraction and allowing him to, giving her body to him and stuff like that, that's all based to like that initial. And it's the same with men. We see a fat ass and we all, she got 2 kids. Oh, okay, maybe, we'll see what's up. Like, it's the same thing. We see a beautiful face and we start ignoring that they crazy and all this type of stuff. So it's the same.
I've done that.
I think the reason that works on a psychological level is scarcity. So it messes with the supply and demand curve. If you meet somebody and you as a man, and you throw yourself all in and head over heels initially when you meet them, that might come off weird to her, and it removes the idea that what you have is scarce because you're so free to give it. If in the long run, you may not, like, if you do have to do things, you got to work, or you're not able to pour that amount of time into the person, then they can appreciate that time more because they know, one, you have scarce time, and what scarce time you do have, you're willing to spend with them. I think that's the psychology behind it.